Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm back here at TradeUI, showing you just how you can find good market opportunities, whether you're a bullish or bearish trader / investor. So what we're going to do is actually look at gamma exposure and see how that's correlating with the current market situation that we have on November 29th, 2023. So dealer exposure on TradeUI, you can click that link in the description below, take you to TradeUI. It'll show you gamma exposure for different stocks and different prices. What is gamma exposure? That is going to be the dealer exposure. So basically, this is where the stockbrokers have to cover the trades made based on the orders coming in. How do we utilize that data? So I want you to almost imagine a game of Pong. So remember in Pong, that little ball goes back and forth between two barriers? That's exactly how gamma exposure works with the stock price. So that little ball that's moving is the stock price, and the little paddles that you use to knock the ball back and forth, that's going to be your positive gamma and your negative gamma. So the higher the spike, the stronger that paddle is going to be. So right now you see a big spike here at 455 on the S&P 500. If we go here to SPY, we have 455, we have a big spike. And we also have a big spike at 460. That tells us that that is a good target to sell a stock. So the S&P 500 looks like a good short opportunity around that 460 level because that's where dealers are starting to cover. So the price gets attracted to that point, but you got to remember the bear side too. The short sellers are going to come in here and they're going to make the 450 level attractive. It's not nearly as attractive as that 455 or that 460 level right now, but it's eventually going to grow in size too. So you're going to start to see that price bounce back to that 450 level. So let's look at the chart here and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I am on the 3-year weekly chart. And if you see, the S&P 500 has rallied hard. In fact, we've rallied right to that 460 level, and as you can start to see, we see a little bit of subtraction in the price right here, that red candle right there. We're starting to see a potential rollover effect. Now, does that mean that it's going to go down to 450? I don't know. Nobody knows. But it does give you a pivotal direction on what to look for. In this case, you ought to be pretty bearish because the market's rallied pretty hard. Actually, if you go to the year to day, that's 6 month, 4 hour. So if I go to year to day, it had a huge run this past month. That is actually nearly 10% just in 1 month. If the S&P 500 runs 10% in 1 month, you better expect people to sell and take profit. You have support here at the 450 level. If you see this resistance right here, right here, right here, remember this starts to become new support once broken through. So you could actually see that 450 level get tested whenever we start to pull back on this move. A stronger level you might see is this 437 to 440 area. So that's a very good area to start looking for potential buy opportunities if the market goes that direction. What we did here at the TradeUI team is we actually liquidated most of our stakes in any positions just because we expect this pullback to give us better buying opportunities on more stock. But what you can do with gamma exposure is really understand where there is a different focus point on certain support and resistance zones that you can use to give yourself a trading edge. You can also cross-reference it with the option flow or anything else that we have down in here. So if we go to the options flow table here, and let's say we want to look at SPY. Let's see, if we go to ask. Yeah, so right now we actually have more puts than we do calls. Now the calls are worth more, putting us at a $2.3 million profit area, I'm sorry, a bullish area. However, when it's this almost indecisive, that's when you don't think it's bullish. You can't think it's bullish if it's indecisive. You can only think it's bullish if it's nearly unanimous. However, you got to dig deep. You got to run some fundamental analysis to see what's going on with different companies, what's going on with the news out there. Don't just use this for the S&P 500. This works for all different types of stocks. For example, let's do a breakdown on dealer exposure. Let me go back to it. Let's do Disney. All right, so Disney, this is a great opportunity here. People are pretty bearish on Disney to get into that 92 level. However, you got a lot of bulls over here thinking it's going to go to 100. So now that we're over here, close to the sell point, or where the dealers have to start buying back to cover, now you can start targeting 100 once it gets closer to this 92 level. So this is a bullish opportunity. Let's look at the chart and see what it looks like. So I go to Disney. All right, so look here. I've already run technical analysis. I've traded Disney in the past. But if we get rid of this line and this line, we have a support zone at 85. But now we actually have, believe it or not, look at there, a support zone. Because if you look here, here, little resistance, little support, little resistance. This has been a historic level for buying, or selling actually, which is the right at that 92 level. If you zoom in, we're pretty close to that 92. Looks like we broke through, started to reject a little bit. But we also got to consider other factors, what's going on with the market overall. But if we go back to this, you can actually see if we draw a line here. So if we move it up, you can see 100 is clearly the next support zone for Disney, or sorry, resistance zone for Disney. So that's a good target you could have. That's nearly 10% profit just on that move alone if you want to go ahead and get in. I'm probably not, I might watch the stock to see how it performs before I get in. However, the dealer exposure is telling me that it is getting very close to an awesome buying opportunity. So you gotta think backwards. Remember, you can use these as targets, but you also have to use them as execution points. So we're getting close to buying the Disney point here at 92 and targeting 100. And we look at SPY. SPY is very bullish at 455, which means we need to get ready to start selling off and potentially buy back. SPY is a little different because there's a lot more movement in SPY, a lot of buying and selling going on. However, you look at 450, you see a big spike there. That's a good short-term, short position target. Just how it lines up with all the support and resistance levels. Guys, everybody looks at the same thing. TradeUI is a cleaner, consistent method to learning how to read the data and give yourself more justification for a trade. We use this in the TradeUI team. We have made awesome returns this year, and we are going to continue to profit. We hope that you join our team and become better traders with us. I'm going to end the video here. Have a great day.